You're welcome to the Scholar School. We establish our footprints on the sand of time. Experience the difference.
Good day, everyone. You're welcome to the Scholar Online class. So this morning, we will be considering geography, and then we'll be looking at the concepts of geography. So this class is exclusively designed for students who are going to be writing the forthcoming WAEC, NECO, GCE, and JAMB exam. So we have decided to commence this series to address every salient questions as far as geography is concerned. All right. So now we will be looking at the meaning, importantly the concept of geography, under which we'll be considering the meaning of geography, the value or importance of geography. We'll also be looking at the meaning of local geography, village, physical features of a village. We'll be looking at town too, so the socio-cultural features of both town and villages. So this is what we're going to be considering in this time frame. So when we say geography, we must understand that geography itself is from a Greek word, okay, and it is the combination of two Greek words which are geo and graph. So geo means the earth, while graph means description. So with these two meaning, we can definitely say that geography is the description of the earth. But comprehensively, geography has to do with the study of people, their activities, places, and physical things around us. Okay, physical thing within the earth. So geography is concerned with the study of different people in different locality. You know, we have the Igbira people, we have the Soko, the Biobio, the Yoruba, the Igbo, okay, the Calabar, the Fulani, the Hausas, etc. So geography is also concerned about the activities. When we say the activities, we talk about the agricultural activities, the mining, the fishing activities that they engage in, trading, manufacturing, construction, and so on. So geography is concerned with the study of places too. So we look at Nigeria, we look at China, Australia, and other parts of the world and their peculiarities. So above all, geography is concerned with the study of physical things within the earth. So we look at the rock, mountain, why is it so? The plain, why do we have these features? Ocean, rivers, climates, vegetation, soil, atmosphere. Okay, all of these are things that we look at. So if we consider the scope of geography, geography is a social science because it studies human activities in the environment, okay? And it deals with real physical phenomena, things we can see, okay? So, and it has to do with practical too. It looks at practical things, not abstract, all right? Not only that, geography is easy to understand. It is relevant to all our life experience. So it talks about agricultural science because it also looks at other areas of human learning. Importantly, geography touches or speaks about agricultural science. It talks about government, when you're looking at the political division of the country. So it also it talks about an aspect of history. It also talks about an aspect of economics. So it cuts across all fields of human studies. So if this is understood, that takes us to the importance of geography. So we need to understand that the study of geography, it gives us the opportunity to study the way of life of other people. Part of it is that the study of geography, so it makes us know the physical environment around us very vividly. So in order for us to also understand areas of other subjects. These are part of the reasons why we study geography. So it also makes us know the importance of the physical features around us, the importance of all those physical features, the mountain, what are they meant to, what are their importance, the plain, the rivers, the ocean, what are their importance, okay? So part of it is that it aids the internal and external trade, okay? Then it also gives us the opportunity to choose professional careers. Not only that, so it also assists us to know the dynamics of the international relationship. So all of these are some of the importance of geography. We are going to be discussing local geography, and like I have told us that local geography involves the study of our immediate environment, and it involves the study of both physical and socio-cultural aspects of the society. So we have forms of local geography. So we have what we call the physical local geography, and we have what we call the socio-cultural aspect of the local geography. So looking at the physical local geography, so we are considering things in our locality that can be felt, things that can be seen, things that can be, touched. And the example of such is our mountain, the lowland, the valley, the rivers, the vegetation, the climate, all these that are found in our locality. At the same time, if you are looking at the socio-cultural aspect of our local geography, so we'll be looking at things that has to do with our socio-cultural aspect of life. For instance, our school, our market, our transport system, our mosque, our churches, and so on. So the locality also involves our village, our towns, our local governments, and our streets, importantly, our states. So, and this is what will take us to the village. So, what do we refer to as village? A village is a small nucleated rural settlement, formed from a combination of several hamlets. It is formed from the combination of several hamlets or thousands of people that's limited as social amenities. So, and the social amenities include the electricity, the pipe-borne water, the good hospital, and so on. So, what are the physical features of this village? That takes us to the next. The physical features of this village include the relief. I'm talking about the relief. Generally, we have what we call the lowland and what we call the island. So, in the village settlement, in some cases, we might have a island relief. We might also have the lowland relief. But basically, in most villages in Nigeria, for instance, we always have lowland relief. So where we're going to be talking about our plains and all that. So in fact, we always have like slightly undulated places in the village. So because that is what will accommodate the building of our houses and our churches, our mosque, and so on. So that might not be very easy in a rugged or what we call an island environment. So that is one of the physical features that can be found in the village. Then we can also look at the vegetation. The vegetation in the village is a forest type, such that you will see lots of lands, okay, that are not well cultivated, because of the nature of the people that live around there. So the vegetation we are going to see, especially in the southwestern part of Nigeria, is going to be the forest or the forest type of vegetation. So that's what we're going to see. If you talk about the north, that is where we're going to be looking at the vegetation like the savanna vegetation, the ones that does not, because they have short trees over there and a lot of grasses, and that is what we refer to as savanna types of vegetation. That's what you're going to see. Depending on what we are having in that locality, that is what we meant by the physical features of the village. Then at the same time, we talk about the climate. So what type of climate is it that we have in that locality? Is it the harsh climate? Is it the wet climate? And so on. So depending on where we are studying, and that is what determines the physical features of that very environment. Then we also look at the drainage. What kind of drainage system is it? So is it by stream? Do they get water by stream? They get water through a fall, and just so many of it. So all of these are what we consider under the features, the physical features that are found in the village. Then we look at the socio-cultural. Under the socio-cultural, we'll be looking at the transport system that take place or that we use in such an environment. Is it a cart transport system? Is it that of a bicycle? Is it that of a train? And so on in that locality. We'll be looking at the type of religious setting. Is it the mosque, the churches, and the shrine, and just so on? These are things to look at there. We look at schools. We look at these features in line with the locality we are actually studying. Under the socio-cultural, we'll also be looking at not only those things I've mentioned, we'll be looking at the infrastructure. How is our infrastructure is available in this very place. Then we'll also be looking at the school setting, okay, in this type of area. So what are the functions of village? The functions of a village. So, okay, in villages, there are certain functions that are present that are not found in the town. An example of this is the function that has to do with village that are not relevant in the town. So let's consider some of the functions that can be found in the village. One of them is agricultural function. Agricultural activities take place in abundance in the village compared to what you have in towns, where people do some secondary activities. Then you have the lumbering function, the falling of trees. Then the small scale shopping, like we don't have supermarkets in the village and all of that, but have the small scale shopping system. Then we also have the fishing function. Then we also have the religious function. So these are things we are going to see in the village. Now, let's look at town. What do we refer to as town? Because we need to understand what towns are before we now begin to look at the physical features of town itself. So when we say town is a large nucleated urban settlement formed from expansion or combination of several villages. So it contains several thousands of people with several social services like transportation, banking, like trading, social amenities like electricity, pipe-borne water, and so many schools, telecommunication, and a whole lot. So what are the physical features that can be found in the town? So basically, like what I have told you while I was discussing the physical features that can be found in the village. Some of the physical features that can be found is the relief. We'll consider the type of reliefs that are found in such a town. All right, some are rugged, some are gentle, some are plains. Like I've told you, relief generally we talk about the lowland and the highland. So which type of relief are we having in the town in question? So take for instance in Lagos. Lagos is blessed with a plain town, okay, a place with a flat surface, okay, a slightly few meters above the sea level, and that is Lagos for you. Then if you look at other places like the some part of Oyo State, you talk about a very rugged island. And at the same time, of course, we also have some other parts of Oyo State that are also basically lowland. All right. So then you go to Plateau, you see upland, like islands there. So we look at the kind of climates. So what type of climate do we have in this part of the world in this part of the country, or importantly, the town. So we consider that. Is it friendly climate or a very harsh climate? So we look at that. The drainage system. What type of water system do we have there? Then the village, we talk about the vegetation too. So we look at the type of vegetation that are present in the town. And if you agree with me, you will find out that they have less vegetation in the town compared to that of village. Now, what are the socio-cultural features that can be found in the town? This is very clear. We have educational, establishments, we have market, we have infrastructure like hospital, like fire, fire service stations, train stations, and all of those stuff. So we also have settlements. Then we have religious activities. So these are the sociocultural features that can be found in the town. So what are the functions or economic activities? Now, functions or economic activities, okay, or influences of physical and cultural features of the town on human activities. We have just so many influence of these features that affect man that live in this locality. And that is why you find out that if you look at people in the north, they will always put on white garments. They love their white garments and their agbada. And it was because that is influenced by the kind of place they live. If you have to put on dark wear or a black wear in a very hot zone, you find out that the heat will be much. But white cloth repels heat. So this is why you see them dressing the way they dress. You see them with their turban, and sometimes the Fulanis cover their noses. The weather has actually influenced the way they dress. If you look at people in the United States or in the Greenland, you'll find out that the kind of wear they put on are very everywhere that can, generate heat. The climate there has actually affected them. So compared to Nigeria, where you can, the western part of the country, where you can put on a slightly, depending on what the weather condition is at that point in time. So let's consider the way it has influenced us. Number one, the weather or these features has influenced us in the area of our industrial function. So you look at the kind of industry that are located in certain areas, it's as a result of all of these features that has been mentioned earlier. The commercial function. Look at the type of commerce that happen in Lagos, because you have a lot of people there. So the socio-cultural function, you have the mining function, you have the fishing function, you have the residential function. These are things you're going to see in the town. You cannot see some of these ones. You cannot see lumbering in the town, for instance. Lumbering that has been mentioned earlier. And conclusively about this class, we are going to be looking at the difference between towns and villages. From all that I've said, ordinarily, you should be able to have identified what are the differences that are found, the differences that are available for towns and villages. But I'm going to state it for the purpose of record. Number one is that the town occupies large area, while the village occupies a small area. That's number one. Number two that needed to be noted is the population in the town are usually higher, okay, above 2,000 people, compared to what you have in the villages below 2,000 people, and it is not usually large. So people who did not know themselves, while the village has people with homogeneous population. They know themselves, they know when they were born, and they can actually trace their history. Part of what must be noted about town is that towns perform the secondary activities, while the villages perform the primary activities. The secondary activities are manufacturing and all of those stuff, while for the village you have what we call the primary activities like lumbering, fishing, and all of that. Then We also have part of the difference that you will see in town, or a particular thing you see in town, is that it has a well developed infrastructure, while if you look at the village, it has a less developed infrastructure. Then it is usually easy, it is easily accessible. The town is always easily accessible, while the village is not always easily accessible. Then we need to also understand that the town has a planned layout, while in the village it has just it is not always planned. And lastly, as part of the differences, is that the town is prone to environmental pollution, while if you look at the village, it is blessed with a natural air which is not which is free from environmental pollution. So remember to subscribe, invite your friends to this page so that they can benefit maximally from our classes that are being uploaded on daily basis. So thank you. See you some other time.